Initial grips, moving down the body. Head is a post, climbing, step, over his knee, and hook. And there is the mounted position. We're looking at the skill of getting mounted on an opponent who doesn't want us to get mounted. One of the all-time best methods of doing this is to get double underhooks on an opponent. Why? What's so special about this? Well, we've seen that ultimately what makes it difficult to get mounted is your opponent's elbow-knee connection. Okay? If I have double underhooks on an opponent in a high lock underneath my training partner's neck, like so, when he goes to join his right elbow and knee together, it's really, really difficult because I'm controlling his elbows with my double underhooks. It doesn't matter whether my head's on this side or on this side. In both cases, double underhooks make it really tough for Plasty to work his elbows down into any form of elbow-knee connection. Now, when he tries to bring his knee up, it's really easy for us to start the action of sliding through. When he tries to, on either side, bring elbows and knees together, my double underhooks make it really, really tough. And now it's very easy for us to start that action of rotating through, bringing our knees and feet up above his elbow escape, taking a hand out, and getting a good base of support, and you're mounted. Okay? Now, you could see how double underhooks do a great job of shutting down his elbow-knee connection. But there's probably a question going through your mind, how the hell are you going to get double underhooks on someone from side control? The answer is, you're probably not. It's really hard. Okay? If someone's got a good elbow position, it's really hard just to get double underhooks from here. The most likely way you are going to do this is to start in your opponent's half guard, pass using the double underhooks, and then mount. So it'll look something like this. Okay, from side control, we're working, and however we manage, we get to an underhook on our training partner. As he tries to work on the other side, we get opportunities to sneak a second hand in and get two double underhooks. It's much easier to get double underhooks from half guard. Why? Because from half guard, my body is lined up with him. And so the action of getting underneath his arms is significantly easier than in situations where I'm perpendicular to him, where it's almost impossible to get double underhooks. Okay, so start in half guard. So here we are. We're in half guard. We've gotten into a fairly standard kind of situation here. And as a result, we're able to pommel through and lock up. Now, from this position, we're able to use any one of the extended methods of passing from half guard to go through and across into side control. And now what have you got? Side control with double underhooks. When he tries to shut us out with his knees and elbows, it's pretty easy for us just to put our head down and get our knee in front of his hip. Okay? I don't care how strongly he brings his knee up into my hip. I can always beat it by taking my knee towards his sternum, up this way. If I try to bring my knee to his belly button, his knee gets inside, he wins. So what I do is I go hip to hip. So when he brings his knee up, my knee always beats him. And as a result, I can slide down to the mat and get my knee across to the opposite side. As soon as we're there, I don't want to lock up here. He can trap my arms and start bridging me over. So it's important that once we get mounted, we put our arm out wide on that side. And now when he goes to bridge me over, it's not going to happen. Now we're locked up and in good position. So once again, we're in half guard. From half guard, he tries to pommel his arm in, but my hip position makes it difficult. Now my second hand goes through, and we start that action of locking up, getting that high lock behind his neck. When he tries to work his way out of this position, it's not going to be an easy thing. We take our foot and come through into side control. He tries to block me out. Look out from here. I bring my knee not across his belly button, where now he gets inside knee position and beats me. But rather, I bring my knee up towards his sternum. So when he tries to get inside knee position, he'll never do it. Now I go towards the belly button and I start driving across my opponent's body. From here, as we start coming out, go through and find ourselves in good attacking position, mounted and ready to play. We've been looking at the idea of getting mounted on someone who doesn't want us to get mounted. In my opinion, the method I'm about to show you now is the most effective way to get mounted on difficult, skilled opponents. If you look at my students, when they work their way into the mounted position, this is probably the method they use more than any other. It's basically the methods I've been showing you so far, but with an added step where you step your foot directly onto your opponent's hip. Now, first I need to explain why this is a big deal, okay? Because when you first look at this, you're probably thinking like it's not that different from the other moves you just showed, but there is a very important difference. Plus, you're down. Okay, it all comes down to how good your opponent is. And remember, guys, one of the big themes of my instructional videos, I'm not interested in you guys tapping out white belts or blue belts. Okay, that's fun when you first begin, but that's not your long-term goal. Your long-term goal is to go up against the best people and beat the best people. Okay, whenever we try to get mounted, probably the single biggest problem we face is the problem of ankle exposure. Say, for example, I just go for a conventional knee slide, okay, Jiu-Jitsu 101, and I start sliding my knee across, and Placido times it and captures my ankle. Okay, so I expose my ankle to Placido, and as a result, he easily captured me, and now I've got to work my way out of that. It's kind of frustrating, right? You pass the guy's guard, you try to get mounted, and what happened? You ended up right back in his guard. So obviously that's something we want to avoid. The more skilled your opponent, the better they are at catching those foot. They judge the foot exposure, the ankle exposure, and they snatch your foot, quickly elbow escape, and you're back in guard. Second method, similarly, I step over and the guy does a good job keeping his knee close to his elbow, and you can't step over. Okay, so I get the step over position that we looked at previously, and his knee is up high, just like so. And when I go to step, I screw things up, and he reaches over with his other foot, catches it, and you're back in guard position. Okay, and again, release. You gave him some ankle exposure. When you stepped over, you were supposed to step over his knee, but his knee was up so high that when you made the step, you exposed your ankle to him. He elbow escapes, and you're right back in guard. Okay, so that's frustrating. So, if your opponent's good, he's going to have a finely sensed, a very judicious sense of ankle exposure, and he's going to use it to put you back in guard every time you try to get mounted. So what I often encourage my students to do is step on their hip. Because when you step on the hip, there is literally zero ankle exposure. When you go up against an expert opponent, that's the method you want to use whenever possible. You don't always have to use it because not all of your opponents are experts. Sometimes they're not very good, and sometimes they are good, but they're just exhausted. And exhausted people make more mistakes than fresh people. So it's not essential every time that you use this move, but there are times you do want to use it, especially against good opponents. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to demonstrate it. I usually do this out of high stepping methods, okay, where I step over rather than knee slide. So from a situation where we're here working with our training partner, we're going to come down our training partner's hip, and we're just going to weight over our training partner's hips like so. Now, my target is his hip here, okay? So I don't want to expose my ankle to my opponent. So I start lining my body up with him, and instead of just stepping my foot over anywhere and hoping that I get above his knee, I'm going to step my foot through and put it here on his hip. So I don't step over the knees, I step through the hips, and I put my foot right there, like a hook on my training partner's hip. I curl my toes in, and when he tries to hold me off, I just look with my head. So my body starts to straighten out, and then I just push. When he tries to elbow escape, he's shut out. And as a result, we can start the action of coming up and taking that mounted position. As I walk forward, he goes to elbow escape. There is no elbow escape because I'm literally standing on his hip. Then I just bring my foot up and it's done.